Snake Man here, tiger snake time. There we go, big old tiger snake. Looks alright now, the video's not blurred. And what we're going to do is feed it. We get the rodent. Come here, snake. Wave it in front of him. Hey, snake, eat. Wasting my time talking. Oh, he found it. Come on. Here, it's called food. Bang. Now, as you can see, he's quite happy to eat it. This particular animal we've had for a long time, raised from baby, now over 10-year-old. We at Snake Busters keep our stuff a long time. This guy has been seen by tens of thousands of people, in fact hundreds of thousands of people have probably seen this animal. Plus of course he's graced the front pages of newspapers and the rest of it. Devenomized and safe. He's got a pleasureful life. We free handle him, never ever uses sticks and tongs on this animal, and that's one of the reasons he's lived so long. Although he has had a checkered career, but the wonders of modern veterinary medicine have kept him alive. He's had a few viruses and infections and all sorts of wonderful things, but he's been fine. Now, I must stress they had nothing to do with devenomizing of the snake. They're all many years after that. He picked up a virus here and picked up a virus there, and he's had a few different bits and pieces. And of course, he is so incredibly old. He actually looks very good for his age. Snakes like people, you can't tell how old they are by looking at him. This one looks very good for his age. He looks like probably looks like a 7-year-old snake. He's probably about 11 or 12-year-old, so he's doing okay. Be like a 70 or 80-year-old looking like a 50-year-old. Doing good. Anyway, we try not to overfeed him. This guy is presently a smidging overweight, but nothing too serious. They are lovely. Beautiful animals. Sometimes. I personally don't like tiger snakes much, but this particular one, he's okay. We'll put up with him. He has bitten me voluntarily, as in he's just turned around and bit me a few times. Usually when he's had an underlying health problem. Sometimes when I haven't even been aware of it. It's sometimes, he's got a bit of an attitude. Always take it off. He's going to have another go. He'll move around and find the head and have another go at eating it. Tiger snakes are not the brains trust of snakes, but they're not as stupid as copperheads. But when you do the IQ test, they don't really rank that highly. I mean, browns and blacks way higher than tiger snakes. I liken tiger snakes to premenstrual women. They're like a premenstrual woman in the way that they carry on. They'll be good 1 minute and then just bite you the next. Now, this guy, the video now is showing up at 2.5 minutes. My guess is it'll take him about another 2 to 3 minutes to get this wiener wrapped down. Once he's got the head at the good angle, he will actually move quite quick. Size of this snake, about 1.5 meters, 4.5 foot, something like that. That's a ballpark sort of figure. I have obviously measured him. I've got exact measurements on him, but I mean I can't remember what they are doing in the process of doing the video. As you can see, this snake's been devenomized for many years, since around about 2004. It is now 2011 that I'm making this video. As you can see, he looks immaculate. You can forget all this crap about butchery and mutilation. Our enemies used to call it surgically enhancing the snakes, but that wasn't emotive enough, and it didn't really put devenomizing snakes in a particularly bad light. So now you don't hear the term surgical enhancement of snakes for venomoids. They tend to call it butchery and mutilation, but there is no butchery and mutilation. The head looks perfectly normal. There is no change, and that of course is the underlying problem. They don't look any different to normal venomous snakes at all. And contrary to a lot of the rubbish on the web and elsewhere, they do not die shortly after being devenomized. In fact, life expectancy actually increases. The reason is simple. With a devenomized snake, you can pick them up and inspect them at close quarters, whereas a normal, highly dangerous, highly venomous tiger snake, highly lethal snake, you would not be spending your time inspecting it very closely. It's usually hand-off keeping with venomous snakes, because you don't want the risk of a fatal or serious bite. With these guys devenomized, we treat them like pythons. We look at them closer, and what that basically means is that if and when they get a health problem, we can get to them sooner before they become serious. The end point, of course, is death from disease is less likely, and that's why on average devenomized snakes always outlive the fully venomous counterparts. The operation, virtually painless for the snake. Certainly painless after the snake when they don't get belted around with sticks and tongs. And you can see my estimate's pretty close on the timeline. I said 2 to 3 minutes, and it's almost got the mouse down. Now this guy would happily eat another one, but we don't like our snakes to be too morbidly obese at all, and this one will probably keep it going for a week or so. We feed them usually about one a week. I say mouse, it's a mouse-sized rat, and that will keep him for a week, and he'll work fairly intensively doing reptile shows at schools and other venues. We're in a busy time of year now. It is November, and in Melbourne in particular, people demand Australia's best reptiles more than anyone else. They want to be able to show the kids tiger snakes, educate them about local Victorian snakes, and without a risk of either the handler or any member of the audience suffering a serious bite. It's common knowledge that a number of our competitors have had serious snake bites. One's had 4, another one's had 2, there have been others. These are all requiring antivenom ones I just mentioned, but of course with Snake Busters there is no risk of an accident of any sort like that happening at any of our shows. Just remember, demand a risk-free snake show at all times, and there's only one choice: Snake Busters.